God, it takes longer and longer and longer. Ushers, bring Kathy down. VIP, front row. Come on, bring her down. Okay. Come on, there's more people standing in the back. Come on, bring them down. I'm not signing your paychecks if you don't get to work. Bring the guests down. Oh, jeez, every night. That's what happens when you hire temps. Come on, ushers. Bring down the guests. Yeah, Kathy, the ushers don't want to work tonight. I see people standing in the back. Ushers, let's go. Bring them down. Oh, jeez. All right. We got Linda. We got Ron. All right. God, what you give the help today? With great anticipation, broadcasting from the basement storeroom of WDWL TV, we bring you the star of the show and the pride of the station, me, the grumpy old man, and asshole over here is still wearing his unfair to vulture sign. So, who gives a shit? How is everybody doing? By the way, Kathy, did they win the doubleheader? Did they take both games? Only 101. Well, it was 91 in Cleveland today. Although it was a little cloudy, so it didn't feel like 91. Did the team win both? Did they win both games last night? The way things are going, they could do an undefeated season. Man, that would be outstanding. Well, we didn't get any rain, although they've been showing a heat advisory all day. But like I say, it was 91, but it didn't feel like 91. Thank God. And then, I even had to stop and talk to a mechanic today. I do not understand, and I've never had this happen in all the years I've been driving and working on vehicles. Remember, I said Tuesday I lost the brakes and I've been kind of limping it using first gear to stop. Yesterday, I back into the driveway and I was going a little bit too fast. And not thinking, I stepped on the brake. And I had full pedal. So I was going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth in the driveway. My neighbors thought I was nuts. Perfect brakes. Today, I had to go up to Save-A-Lot. Perfect brakes. I have no idea. As a matter of fact, I stopped. We have a little mechanic shop up the street. I don't trust them, so I don't use them. I asked the two mechanics if they ever heard of this kind of problem. Neither one of them. They could not believe I lost the brakes and got the brakes back without doing anything. I hope it doesn't happen again, but the shitbox is back to brakes. So you had 92, I had 91. It was a little cloudy. It felt more like, I'll say, 85. Although we keep getting a heat advisory with high humidity. So they're saying next week it's going to be a bit of a cooker. Which I hope, because it actually feels comfortable to me. I even dug all my shorts out. Although, with the legs I've got, people will be saying, "Oh God, put the pants back on." Yeah, me in shorts. Although, like I say, it's got to be high 80s into the 90s before I put shorts on, because really, when it's in the high 80s, to me it feels like the high or low, the high 70s, low 80s, because my body temperature's been out of whack since going through chemo, which a lot of people don't understand. You try to explain it to them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you asshole, you don't know what you're talking about." Yes, I do. Was 90 in Tennessee? Yeah, we were all cooking the same temperatures. Well, except for Ron. Actually, Linda, I didn't do any adjusting. The master cylinder was down about an ounce. I just topped it off. But everybody seems to think, because I emailed a couple of my friends that are retired mechanics, they said that backing up and hitting the brakes might have had something to do with it. I don't know. All I know is, thank God I got brakes again. Because going forward, I had nothing. And like I say, I was going a little fast in the driveway, and God forbid I hit the garage. I hit the brakes, and all of a sudden I had brakes. Well, glad to hear your iPad is repairable at a reasonable price. That's always good to hear. I hope this sounds okay. All I did was unplug the transformer and plug it in. I mean, it's an MXL 990 just like the red one, except this one's orange. Well, Linda, all I know is if that keeps it working, I'll back around the block. Yeah, it looks like a pumpkin. So tomorrow, the patriotic one. That one's classy. It's got a red, white, and blue flag down here, and then the top is all gold. Yeah. Tomorrow I'm going to dig out the Ultra Limited Edition. Matter of fact, it'll be only the second time out of the box. Yeah, it sounds like Ron has a computer repair guy like I do. He understands funds are limited, and he works with me. And he's a hell of a repair guy. Matter of fact, I've got to drop my Microsoft Surface tablet off to him because something I can't get the damn thing to boot up. I put the password in, and it just comes right back to the password. Put the password in, right back to the password. It won't open the damn thing up. Because I want to get it working so that I can sell it. Because I don't like it. And I've got a shitload of accessories for it too. Matter of fact, I might see a pill, straighten it out and sell it for me, and we can work out something as far as the money. Oh, valedictorian. Oh, okay. A DeVry technician. You don't hear about that school much. God, back 10, 15 years ago, you saw commercials everywhere for DeVry. I haven't seen a commercial or an ad or anything for them in years. I actually wondered if they were still going. Because so many of these online colleges kind of got swallowed up by bigger colleges, and it's all the money game. Oh, it's actually a university now. Oh. No wonder I'm not seeing commercials. And there are so many of these. God, every time I see an ad, it's a different. It seems like these online schools are popping up left and right, and boy, I'll tell you, I usually do not shop on Saturday, especially at Save-A-Lot. But I wanted to get some more of that bulk pepperoni before they run out, because it was a one-time purchase. So today I go up, and oh my God, the store was crowded. Fucking little hellions running all over the store. As a matter of fact, one of them almost knocked me over. You know, I don't understand parents. It's like, as soon as they get inside the store, it's like, okay, kids, take off. God, there must have been 8 little hellions running around the store. Nobody's saying anything to them, except me. And then, oh my God, the way people dress. Jesus Christ. Shopping in your fucking pajamas. And then, you know, there should be a law against sports bras. When you have got 2 5-gallon buckets on your chest, it should be against the law to wear a fucking sports bra. Talk about utterly fucking disgusting. Oh, I backed up to read the label on the shelf. And this little asshole, I almost fell over him because he ducked down. He was like hiding from the other assholes. And I fucking yelled at him. And I was waiting for a parent to give me a rash of shit, because, boy, I was ready to give it to somebody. And then, I'm trying to shop, and then these people that leave their cart in the middle of the fucking aisle and then walk all the way down to the other end of the aisle to get something. Ugh. And then there was a female who must have had somebody at the bottom of the stairway holding her shorts while she leapt over the railing to get into them. She's walking through the store. Her ass looks like two pigs fighting to get out of a sack, and you could see the seams stretching like, oh, we're trying to hold this ass in here. Do people look in mirrors anymore? I never saw such a disgusting display of women in such a disarray of clothing. I was like, oh my God, I got to get out of this store. I'm going blind. I've got to get out of this store. And then shopping in pajamas. You don't own clothing? You were that goddamn lazy that you just got out of bed, got in the car, and drove to the grocery store? You don't own clothing? You wore your pajamas to go shopping? Linda, if it's early in the morning, but this was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Like I say, I hate shopping on Saturday. And nobody said a word to all these goddamn little hellions running up and down the aisle, screaming, yelling. I was tempted to walk in the front office and grab the microphone. Parents, get your goddamn brats. Control them. Signed, management. God, I can remember back in the late 50s, early 60s, women actually wore dresses to go shopping. They did their hair, a little makeup. Although back in the day, women wore dresses to fucking vacuum and wash windows and do dishes and cook. Now, today, people roll out of a dumpster and go shopping. And that one woman, oh, with the two Home Depot 5-gallon buckets and a sports bra. Whoa. Ugh. My eyes were burning. Ugh. Whoa. And you know the thing that really gets me? Oh, I do that, Linda. But today I wanted to get the hell out of the store. My corneas were slowly burning. I still cannot understand. They will wear a sports bra to go shopping. But heaven forbid you see them in a bra. Oh, don't look. God forbid if that clasp on the back of that sports bra would have broke. Holy shit, they'd have killed 5 people with the ricochet. It's this generation just could care less. They just don't give a shit. No pride anymore. I didn't see any men drooling in the store. I think most of them, their corneas were burning. That's why I shop Monday through Friday around 1 o'clock. There's not that many people in the store. No little hellions running around. And the thing that really irritated the shit out of me was the manager was standing in the front of the store, not saying a goddamn word. Had I not wanted to get the shit kicked out of me, believe me, I was tempted. You know, I didn't dare leave my mother's side, or I would have got the shit kicked out of me. And these parents just turn them loose. You know, usually I pay attention. Because most of the time when they turn these little fucking brats loose, they're sampling shit in the store. I just wanted to get in, get my list, and get the hell out. As a matter of fact, I lucked out because just as I was walking up, they opened another register. Whew, I was right there. I don't know if we have many illegals around here, but and then something that really pisses me off. We have veterans and seniors that would like, maybe to get a little food from a food bank somewhere to kind of tide them along, and they get turned away. But a couple of streets over, we have a Somali I'll say it again, Somali Aid Center. And on Sunday, there's a 53-foot semi-trailer loaded with food, and they just, here you go, here you go, here you go. But the American Aid Center, sorry. Yeah, the Somali Aid Center is right across the street from Dollar Tree. And if I go to Dollar Tree around 1 o'clock, it looks like all of Africa showed up for the free food. But me, I am still waiting to be approved for the Bountiful Basket food center up at my church that I no longer go to. It's been 3 weeks. I'm still waiting for my approval. But oh no, if I drive on Sunday, there's a 53-foot semi-trailer loaded top to bottom, front to back. Here you go. Here you go. go. Here you go. And I could guarantee if they happen to own a 7-Eleven, all that food's going to go on the shelf in 7-Eleven. And they're driving Lexuses and Mercedes and Land Rovers. How can you be poor driving a Land Rover? How can you be poor driving a Mercedes? Oh, the parking lot. Mercedes, Land Rovers, Audis. And I'm still waiting for the bountiful basket to approve me. Americans take second fiddle . I called last week and I said, according to the chart, I am way under the maximum income. Way under. We're still working on your application, sir. Oh, you're waiting for a few Somalis to drop off the list so an American can get some food? Grumpy has to hold his tongue because he'll get in a lot of trouble. Try being an American and apply for some of these free giveaways that we're supposed to be entitled to. Oh, a couple years back, Linda, about 5 stores got busted. It was all over the news. They were coming over to the Lakewood Food Bank in Lexus and Mercedes, and then going over to their stores on the east side and putting it on the shelves for sale. Matter of fact, they all went to prison. Lost their businesses, which is good. Talk about, American generosity, and then you cheat us by selling the free food that we're giving you to feed your family. No, not me. Not according to the charts. I keep reminding the woman, I am way below the maximum. Why is it taking so long to get approved? Well, we're working as fast as we can. I said, yeah, and me and my cat are fucking starving. You know, Linda, when I lived up the street, there was a house next door to me that had a family from Nepal. They were sponsored by their church. Their church flew them over here. Rented the house, paid the utilities, and gave them free food. And none of them spoke English. Do you think anybody pays my electric bill? Anybody pays my rent? Anybody pays my gas bill, my water bill? No. Don't get me started on immigration. It's pretty damn bad when they get everything for free and we get nothing. Well, Linda, you know what? I have to put my pride aside when my cupboard is slowly becoming emptier and emptier and emptier. And when I see a 53-foot semi-trailer full of food being given away at the Somali Rescue Center, and I get nothing? I'm driving a 1997 Nissan shitbox. They're all driving brand new 24, 25 Lexuses, Mercedes, Audis, Genesis, Acuras. Where are they getting the money to pay for these vehicles if they're so poor? Who's paying for these cars? I would tend to think, an $80,000 Land Rover, the monthly payment's got to be around $500 a month. Who's paying that? It's getting out of hand. And you can guarantee that semi-trailer loaded with food is paid for by the government. Hard-earned American tax dollars, and Americans don't even get any of it. I can feel the veins popping in my head. Had to turn the ceiling fan on. Higher. Move some air around in here. I went up yesterday and got my Eggland's Best large eggs. 2 dozen, $5. Cheapest I've seen eggs in ages. Yeah. It was limit 2 dozen. I really felt like going out, putting the stuff in the truck and coming back in and getting 2 more dozen, but I won't use them that fast. Wait, another thing that really pisses me off, Linda? When I go into the pharmacy and there's a sign, if you need a translator, point to the language. And there's about 100 different languages. Why do they need a translator? Before you enter the country, you should learn English. I'm tired of pressing 1 for English. We don't need press this. Learn English. Oh, while I was waiting for my prescription one day, I was reading it, you bangy Swahili, you know. And then they're probably getting the prescription for free. Come in and point to the language and we'll get you a free translation service. Well, we wouldn't need all that translation service if everybody learned English. That should be a requirement before you enter. Hello, do you speak English? No? Get back on the fucking plane. That would be me. Customs and Immigration Officer Grumpy. You speak English? No? No English? Get back on the fucking plane. We're shipping you home. When you learn English, you can come back. Have a nice day. You no speak of the English? You no get off of the plane. How's that? Don't unfasten your seatbelt. As soon as they refuel, you're going back home. Enjoy your flight. Oh, I'd make an asshole of a customs official, I'll tell you that. I'd be right on the plane. As soon as the plane pulled up to the jetway, the air hostess would open the door. I'd tell them, make an announcement. Everybody sit back down. Then I would go seat by seat. You speak English? No? Don't unbuckle your seatbelt. Leave your bag in the overhead. As soon as they refuel, you're going back. 8 people would get off the plane. That would be the pilot, the co-pilot, and the 4 air hostesses. Oh, and you can guarantee 99% of the time they're talking about you. I wouldn't let them off the plane. That jetway door would open up and I'd tell the air hostess, make an announcement, remain seated. Then I would go seat by seat. You speak English? A little bit? How little? That much? Leave your seatbelt fastened. The whole plane would turn around and just go right back. Well, I wonder if I flew to Zambia if I would be treated the same way. You no speak Zambianese? Well, that's okay. Come on. Let them be human beings in their own country. If they're oppressed, that's not my fault. You guys created the problem in your country. Solve it. Oh, I'm going to get in trouble for today's show. Oh, man, I can see it coming. I'll probably get banned. You better change the subject. Can't go back to the grocery store. My corneas are just healing. You know, 2 summers ago, I had close friends that went to France, and they were treated like shit. They were ignored in the hotel that they were trying to check in because they didn't speak French. Luckily, my buddy had one of them translator boxes. He said it worked wonders. And the thing that really pissed him off was the one desk clerk was watching CNN in English. And when he asked for little help, on no English. You're watching CNN in English. Don't give me that no English shit. He told the clerk, you know, I'm spending American dollars over here. And you treat me like shit? No understand. I'd have been reaching over and grabbing that desk clerk by the tie. Okay, I speak English. That's better. Oh. Next time I know where tie. I'd be a shitty traveler. I'd be grabbing that guy by the tie and banging his head on the counter. You know any English? Oh, yeah. Here, let me straighten your tie for you. Sorry. Then they tried to warm it over by sending complimentary cheese and fruit baskets. My buddy told the clerk, take them right back down. Take them back down. Nope. They want the tourists' money. They don't necessarily want the tourist. Yeah, he said, here's the one guy leaning on the counter watching CNN in English, ignoring him, going, oh, no English. I'd have had his tie so tight his eyes would have popped out of his fucking head. I speak perfect English. That's better. Let me know when you're done, Linda. I did laundry this morning. My basket's in the bedroom. I'll ship it down. You could fold it all and ship it back up to me. I hate folding. Oh. Oh! Speaking of, I almost forgot. Hang on. I don't want to get hung here. Check out my Hawaiian shirt. Isn't that classy? And tomorrow, I'll show you the red one. Oh. I'm going to shock the shit out of my shrink when I walk in with this. He's used to seeing insulting t-shirts. Temu, $5.88. On closeout. Oh, except no pockets. Oh, I hate it. No pockets. Oh. Wait till you see the red one tomorrow. Yeah, mine too. That's why I bought the green one. And then I figured, for $5.88, I'll take the red one too. And wait until you see the Japanese one. That one might not be here for a week. Oh, that one's cool. The Japanese. I couldn't pass that one up. As a matter of fact, when you see it, you'll know why. Yeah, $5.88. A shirt like that at the Bullseye store would be like $50. Yeah, I figure I should buy a couple of shirts because the offensive t-shirts are getting a little old already. Isn't that cool? Now, the only thing that kind of irritates me about the red one, in the picture, it was more vibrant red. But it's cool. As a matter of fact, waited. I ordered. Did I order one or two? One. Wait until you see the shirt that I ordered today. Really neat. Not Hawaiian though, but really neat. The only problem is, the only place I have to wear them is to doctor's appointments. I don't go out anywhere. But for $5.88, I could not pass it up. That's unheard of today. And it's a very nice shirt. It's not crappy. Yeah, I'm finally getting used to the goofy washing machine now. Although I'm still not used to it taking 55 minutes. Brr, 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 brr. But I do have to admit, the laundry really comes out clean. I had not realized basically how old that washer was until I got the newest, latest, greatest technology. Matter of fact, I had a couple of t-shirts that were kind of smoke stained. And I'd washed them in the other machine and they were still dingy. I washed them in this machine. Whoa! They came out like brand new. Oh my God. I hate doing my own, let alone for 125 people. Holy shit. That would drive me insane. Although I'll tell you, I got into the habit. I went out and I bought a shitload of hangers. And now, as soon as I take a shirt out of the dryer, right on the hanger. Well, that's what I washed today. Because I had, I got them hospital blankets. I got 6 of them. And they look dingy. So since I had to strip the bed today, I decided to take them 5 blankets out of the closet and throw them in the machine. And boy, did they come out nice and white. Now I have to fold all that shit. And what really irritates the piss out of me, how do you fold a fitted sheet? How do you fold that stupid thing? I just ball it up, throw it on the shelf. I figure if it's got any wrinkles, when I put it on the mattress, they'll all stretch out. Not to mention, nobody's going to see them. I have tried every which way to fold the goddamn fitted sheet, but now I just... There. Big piles of sheets. But now I've got... Well, I got them 5 blankets. I got 8 sheets. A bedspread. 2 bedspreads. Gotta fold all it. Oh, Linda, I don't have any problem with it. Just... There. Ball it up, throw it on the shelf. As a matter of fact, I found 3 more brand new sheet sets. 2 pillowcases, a sheet, and a fitted sheet. That I can't use. Because I got that twin XL 10-inch deep mattress. I forgot they were even in there. I looked up on the shelf and went, what's this? Oh. Yeah, 2 in slate gray, a turquoise, a cream, and a powder blue. 5 brand new unopened sheet sets. Well, that's what I do, Kathy. Match all the corners, ball it up, throw it on the shelf. Nobody sees it anyway. Watch, one day I'll get a knock on the door. Hello, Mr. Grumpy. We're the American Sheet Folders Association, here to check on your sheets. Get off my property. We're here to inspect your laundry closet. Sorry, I lost the key. That's okay, you have a crowbar? But I remember back in the day, my grandmother had a mangle. And she used to iron everything. Sheets, pillowcases, underwear. Everything got ironed and starched. What the hell was the name of that spray starch? Came in a blue and white can. She would... Yep. Everything got ironed, everything got spray starched. I asked her once, I said, Grandma, they're sheets. You're going to put them on the bed, and then they're going to get messed up anyway. Niagara. She replied, I'll see 'em. Yeah, out come the old Niagara. Everything. I always wonder how my grandfather felt with starch in his boxer shorts. Oh. Everything got ironed. Even socks. Ironed and spray starched. Oh, everything. Sheets, pillowcases. If it went in the laundry, it got ironed. Because when she was ironing, I couldn't watch TV because it would overload the circuit and blow the fuse. There would be a big note on front of the TV. Do not turn on. Because that mangle sucked up so much electricity to heat that big goddamn burner. Yep, out it came in the middle of the kitchen. Everything was stacked nice and neat. Her laundry cupboard was organized better than the sheet and pillowcase aisle at Macy's. In the dresser, everything was all nice and neatly stacked. And heaven forbid my grandfather'd mess it up. Oh. Joe, do you have to make a mess all the time? Mess up that laundry in that dresser drawer one more time, and I'm not signing a check for the next car. Whoa! Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. She always had a wine bottle with a spritzer top. I forgot about that. Yeah, she'd have a wine bottle with a spritzer top. A sprinkler top. Oh, God, don't talk about doilies. Jesus Christ. They were on everything. And God forbid you mess them up. Oh. Yeah, doilies on the arm of the coach. A big giant doily across the back. Every chair, doilies, doilies. Yeah. She used to iron the doilies with a hand iron. Those didn't go in the mangle. She always had her hand iron for the doilies. You make doilies? I thought that was a thing of the past. I thought doilies went out back in the 60s. What do you crotchet them? You crotchet them or you knit them? One of these days, well, I already put it away. Come fall, which we don't even want to think of right now, I'll have to show you the Afghan my cousin crocheted for my twin bed. Beautiful. I was afraid to use it. Oh, I told you I won. Yeah. I bet win, place, and show. And for show, second place, I ended up with 72 bucks, something like that. Yeah, that horse made me money. Yeah, it was 72 or 74 or something like that. Yeah, I took my previous winnings and I bet because I thought I screwed up because I thought I bet him to win and I didn't click the box. So it was a win, place, and show. So I was in the money. Not as much as if he'd have won, but hey, I'll take what I got. And I did make the clam dip. And it's delicious. I finally broke down Thursday night, made the clam dip. And it turned out perfect. Absolutely delicious. Although, to me, it tastes better on crackers instead of potato chips. But real easy to make. Man, that recipe was... Because what I did, about 2 hours before I was ready to make it, I poured the clams in a strainer. Then every time I went in the kitchen, I gave it a little shake to make sure that they were dry. And it was delicious. As a matter of fact, the next time I go grocery shopping, I'm going to buy more clams. I think that's going to be a regular. Well, I tried some chips, and they ended up breaking. So I spread it on crackers. And delicious. I appreciate the recipe. As a matter of fact, what I did, I took half of it and the one half was per the recipe, and the second half I put just a little bit of sriracha and kicked it up a bit. So I have one container of regular and one container with a little sriracha. Oh yeah, very easy. Very easy to make and easy to remember how. Because it's not a big list of ingredients. But oh, it turned out great. I made it like around 4 o'clock. I put it in the fridge, and I didn't eat it until after the show. I appreciate Ron sharing that recipe. But with me being a clam lover, turned out perfect. Absolutely perfect. Yeah. Bam! Yeah, I gave it a bam with the sriracha. Just a couple of shakes, just enough. Gave it just a little bit of a bite. But yeah. Yeah, I took the clams and put them in a strainer. Every time I walked out in the kitchen, shook that strainer. Then as I was mixing it, I just slowly added and mixed very well and added a little more clam and mixed. Made sure everything was all mixed in. Yeah, I kicked it up a notch. I miss Emerald. I wish they would bring him back. Did you see that one female chef died last week? The blonde, the one with the white. She was only like 53 years old. She had the white, I can't remember her name. Hey, VOP, how are ya? Well, we knew that was going to happen. He gave him the ultimatum. Ann Burrell, yeah. Yeah, she was very young. I can't remember what she died from. They did mention it. I personally didn't care for her, but it's sad to be so young, you know. Is that what they think it was? Man, but although, talk about chefs with cholesterol. That's sad, though. I feel bad for her family, you know. Like I say, I did not. You know, the Food Network is going wacky. It started with, what's his name? Guy Freddy, goofy hair. And then her with that shark fin all the time. I didn't understand that hairdo. Shark fin. 50 gallons of hairspray. I didn't care for her way of cooking. Although I don't watch much Food Network anymore. Like I say, with what's a guy, Freddy. He was from Ohio. Although I liked, what was that program Diners and Dives or something. I like that because he did one of the diners that I've eaten at. The one on Memphis. He featured that one show. And they did have killer food. They really did. What the hell was the name of that? Diners, something and Dives. As a matter of fact, my sister took me to that one on Memphis. And I was so impressed, I went back several times. And then I see it on TV. And I was like, God damn it, why didn't they film it while I was there? It's an old converted gas station. Yeah, the guy bought it. It was an old gas station. Converted it into a diner. That's the only show I liked about him. He's a goof. That goddamn white hair. He opened a bunch of restaurants. I heard they were very overpriced. But you know, back in the day, we had Emerald, and we had Rachel, and what's her name? The woman that's always in a garden. And then Miss Start with 5 pounds of butter. Because they said Emerald kind of ran his course. They said he was, losing viewership. That's a crock of shit. Christ, he put the goddamn Food Network on the map. Because Emerald cooked down-home food. Not like Guy Fieri with, flaming fillet of yak. Yeah, goofy Guy Fieri. Go to your butcher and get 5 pounds of yak. And we're going to do flaming fillet of yak tonight. Oh, don't even bring up Martha Stewart. Miss Prissy. Yeah, Julia Childs really was the founder of Food TV. She was one of the first to have a regular program, although she She cooked with a lot of booze. She loved to cook with wine. Oh, today we're going to have cockle-vin. Take 5 gallons of red wine. Glug, 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 glug. Oh, you didn't see that. She was always sucking on a glass of wine. Pardon me while I take a drink. You always have to have a glass of wine when you cook. I actually met her. She was here in Cleveland for some, I think, a book signing. Oh, Graham Kerr. Oh, I think he was hitting the booze back every commercial. The Galloping Gourmet. For the longest time, I thought he was gay. Oh, Graham Kerr was pretty. He cooked gourmet style food, but for like the average person. He actually taught people how to cook, on the bit of a gourmet side. The old Julia with that voice of hers. Today we're going to do French pancakes. Get out the wine. Glug, 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 glug. It's always good to mix your pancake dough with a little white wine. Yeah, Graham Kerr was the type of guy where, he could take a sole of a shoe and make it look and taste good. The front runner to Emerald, Graham Kerr kind of kicked it up a notch. Well, then Emerald came along. And, everything that Emerald made, you could actually make in your kitchen. It wasn't like, you had to have special utensils or oh yeah, Justin Wilson. I guarantee. Take a little onion. Everything with him started with an onion. Take a little onion. I guarantee. He was cool. But everything had onion in it. Even dessert. Take a little onion. We're going to start with some onion. Chop it up. You'll like it, I guarantee. But chefs like that, they made the Food Network. Then you had idiots like Guy Fieri turn it into a sideshow. And you know, for somebody that had never been on TV, Emerald was an entertainer. He really was. He showed you how to cook, and he entertained you at the same time. That's what I liked about him. Now he's doing infomercials for air fryers. Talk about stooping low. Jesus. He does some internet tailgating show. But I guarantee if the Food Network brought him back, he'd gain the following that he had before. Because he did. He put that goddamn Food Network on the map. Right, Kathy. And he explained, like, you know, all right, I'm going to add a bay leaf. And then he would explain why. Not just throw in a bay leaf. Every ingredient he added, he explained why you're adding that. And like he said, you cook in layers. You don't throw everything all in at once. You layer the flavor. And he made it so that the average person, like some dumbass like me, could do one of his recipes and it actually turned out good. You never had a chef talk about layering flavor until him. And he explained why you're adding these spices at this time. That's why he had the following that he had. He never made anything over extravagant that you couldn't do, except when he did that turducken. Holy Christ. Take a turkey, stuff it with a duck. Take the duck, stuff it with a chicken. Take the chicken, stuff it with a pheasant. Take the pheasant, stuff it with a pigeon, wrap it all up, and bake it for 47 hours. I could not believe when he did that. We're going to make turducken. Huh? Take a turkey, stuff it with a duck. Take the duck, Stuff it with a chicken. Oh yeah, I did some of his. Matter of fact, I bought one of his cookbooks. As a matter of fact, I made. Oh, come on. What the hell? What do they call it? I'm going to call it Cajun soup. What the hell do they call it? You start with a roux. Don't burn the roux. Oh, what the hell do they call it? Not bouillabaisse. What the hell do they... Jambalaya. Yeah. I couldn't think of it. I made sausage jambalaya. And it turned out good. I had to cut the recipe way back, but it was delicious. Because I had a hell of a time finding that Cajun sausage. Andouille. Yeah, andouille. There was a sausage shop over on Memphis, and that's where I got it. Because you go into a place like Gigantic Eaglet, you say, "You got any andouille sausage?" And they look at you like, "What?" "No, get the fuck out of here." Yeah, jambalaya with andouille sausage. It was delicious. Even for me making it the first time. But I followed the recipe. I think I cut it in half. Because if I'd have made it per the cookbook, I'd have still been eating it today. I only made it once. I don't know why I never made it again. I only made it one time. Goddamn cold air on my shoulder. Yeah, I miss the old days of the Food Network. I liked watching Rachel Ray. She had a cute giggle. used to watch just for her to giggle. I didn't want to make a big pot for fear I didn't like it. Then I had been forced to eat it. I made enough for a couple of days. Yeah, I enjoyed watching Emerald and Rachel. Rachel was another one, normal everyday food, but kicking it up. She never made anything overly extravagant. Which that's what people want. They're not cooking duck under glass. They're cooking a meal for their family. Oh, I make some killer chili. I've got my chili down to a science. Oh, I had a hell of a time cooking for one. When you're used to cooking for a family, it's a real shock when you're cooking for just one person. Because you don't want something that's going to last a week. Right now, I'm still on my salad kick. I'm actually enjoying salad every night. And once I get tired of the salad, I'll probably go to burgers. I miss making my burgers stuffed with blue cheese. Yeah, like I say, Kathy, it's tough trying to adjust to cooking for one person. I do enough for right now for 2 meals. If I'm doing my chili, I'll do it for 3 because I love chili. But anything else, 2 meals, then I'm good. Move on to something else. But boy, in the beginning, it was real hard cooking for one person. Because my son don't like my cooking. Now, if I'm doing meatloaf, I will go overboard. I'll make a big one. because there's nothing better than a cold meatloaf sandwich. And I make my meatloaf like my grandmother used to make it, with hard-boiled eggs in the middle. You take a slice of meatloaf, and right in the middle of the slice you got a hard-boiled egg. I don't know where she came up with that, but I still carry on the tradition of putting hard-boiled eggs in the middle of my meatloaf. And it's good. I like it with a hard-boiled egg in the middle. I'll do it either way, but I'll make a big one. In a couple of nights, I'll have it hot and then slice it for sandwiches. Nothing better than a cold meatloaf sandwich. Oh, try it sometime. Make your meatloaf like you normally do, and then you make a trench, put the hard-boiled eggs in, and then pack the meat over, smooth it all out, put a couple of strips of bacon over the top, put it in the oven. It's good. It really is. I tell people, meatloaf with a hard-boiled egg, and they look at you like you're cooking some flaming fillet of yak. Well, I've never gone that far, Ron, but like I say, that was the way my grandmother made it. I loved it, and I do it to this day. As a matter of fact, I've got some little cake pans. They're about yay by maybe that. Make a personal meatloaf. And I make one hard-boiled egg in the middle. I make like 6 of them. And that way I have personal meatloafs. Eat a couple of them hot. And then some slice it for sandwiches. Another thing I love is shepherd's pie. That I'll make a big pan. I could eat shepherd's pie for 3, 4, 5 days. So when I make that, big pan. Speaking of making dinner, I think it's about that time. Come on, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? How come I can't find it? We're going to do the 1943 version. thanks everybody for showing up and putting up with me. Everyone have a wonderful rest of your evening. And we will meet again tomorrow night. Yeah, me too, Kathy. The original 1943 with the British troops singing in the background with her. See ya.